Well, hello there. I was just thinking this morning. I was laying in bed trying to figure out if I wanted to get up or not. And I got to thinking about that Bill Gates feller. So I'm going to get in trouble today. Because some of the things he's saying about making all that petri dish fruit and petri dish meat, and ain't no telling what else he's going to come up with. I think he's one of them people that's saying we ought to eat bugs and leave all the good stuff for him and his rich buddies. But I got to thinking, I always enjoyed that show, The Big Bang Theory. Well, now that Sheldon Cooper, he was really smart in one thing. And that was that mathematics. And he was dumb as a stick when it come to anything else. Well, now, there was an old saying when I was a kid. You ain't smart enough to pour pee out of a boot. If the instructions was written, you told them the instruction was written on the heel. Well, that's sort of the way that Bill Gates feller strikes me. He's really smart, but boy, some of the dumb stuff he's saying. Well, in the first place, you look at a feller back there in history like Leonardo da Vinci. Now, he got up there in that Sistine Chapel, and he was painting that picture up there of the creation that the Pope wanted painted. Well, the Pope had his ideas on how it was supposed to look, but Leonardo da Vinci finally wound up painting this fit, good-looking feller as God, and he showed this feller as Adam, and God was touching Adam with his finger and putting life into Adam. Well, because Adam was made out of 100 pounds of clay, as the song goes. Well, Da Vinci wouldn't budge from what his vision was. Da Vinci also had the idea, he drew pictures of airplanes. Kind of rudimentary, but he drew them. He drew that picture. I always think of him. I see that picture of that man standing there, and he's got a circle around him, and he's got his arms out, and he's moving his arms. He can move his arms all the way around in this big circle. Okay? Well, and then you go look at the Mona Lisa, and you look at them beautiful paintings, and you look at all the stuff. That Leonardo da Vinci wasn't a man with tunnel vision. He had vision of some kind of this world. But now, you go and you think, now you go look at that John Kerry guy. Now he's out there talking about how it's all farmers that's putting out the biggest share of all this stuff that's causing global warming. This here CO2 and methane with their cows and their corn and their all this good stuff. Now that ain't right. I mean, somebody got off on this thing about all the CO2 and methane, but they aren't looking at the big picture. They're looking at a picture that's all about wealth and power and fame and glory for a few. So I don't know. I really don't care, though. But what I was going to say is, I believe, as I've told you, I believe in God, in Jesus Christ, and in the Holy Ghost. And I believe in all that stuff. Now, there's in them scriptures I read, there's signs of the times. This modern stuff. Oh, there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. There's going to be goofy rainstorms. There's going to be hail. Big hailstorms, damage and stuff. And there's going to be all these kind of things going on. There are going to be tornadoes and hurricanes. And the oceans are going to lap at the beaches. You go in and you get reading in them scriptures, and that's what it says. So I just sitting, I got to thinking about them guys. You know, and then there's that other feller. Now, a lot of people say he don't exist, but I know he does. That feller named Satan. Some people joke about Lucifer and all these different kinds of names for the dude. But he was up there, and that whole thing about the war in heaven and everything, he got all... Well, he was like a lot of people we know. He was a narcissistic, arrogant so-and-so. He was right. He wanted his way. He wanted all the glory. He wanted all everything. He just wanted to rule. He would make everybody do what he said, and he would save everybody. Well, there's some people running around doing that. That feller over there sitting on his duff in that Davos, or whatever they call that town over there in Switzerland. I don't know where he lives, but you got that Bill Gates, you got that John Kerry, you got that Joe Biden, you got that other feller that was president, that Obama guy. You got all these guys are sitting. We're going to save the world. We're going to save everybody. We're going to do all this good stuff. All of you people are so dumb you can't take care of yourselves. You can't pour pee out of a boot if we tell you that the instructions is under the heel. Well, you know, that ain't right. Because them poor people. I was talking to a guy and I kidded him about being a hillbilly. I don't know why. It just came out. And the other fellow that was there in this construction outfit doing this work with that guy, he said, how'd you know he was a hillbilly? And it dawned on me. I had listened to him talk. And he had to have been from somewhere out the hills of Tennessee, West Virginia, something like that. There was nothing dumb about the guy. No, he was sharp. But he had that talk. Now, I've been told that I talk funny. Well, I'm not a hillbilly. I'm a Westerner. Fact is, I'm out of northern Utah. I'm out of a little town that was called Huntsville, Utah. Still is. But the rich people found out. See, you see, that's the town that you get to Snow Basin Ski Resort, you get to Powder Mountain Ski Resort, you get all these beautiful things around there, all kinds of beautiful mountains and stuff. Well, the rich folk done took it over. Now you can't be a millionaire and live there. You won't survive. It's like Jackson Hole, Wyoming. The millionaires had to move out, didn't have enough money to stay there. So they all went to Idaho or someplace. That's what the people out of Huntsville's done, except for a few that was buried in so deep that all the new taxes and everything didn't hurt them. Well, you know, I was just thinking about that, but them people, they got a lot in common with that Satan feller, I think. And he might be, well, him and his minions that got kicked out of heaven, the that spirit world before we got this earth all on here. You know, that they're whispering in people's ears. Now, I don't know I'm not real great on all this technology, but I've noticed how it has dumbed down everybody. People walking around looking at that phone all the time, playing with that text and all that good stuff. People are dumber than sticks now because of the technology. Is that a blessing from God that loves us? Or is that a curse, some of it, from the God that hates us? Think about it. I ain't real sure on that. My computer is a wonderful tool, but I ain't going to let it control my life. I'm not going to let it turn on my water when I say, give me a drink of water and all this kind of stuff. No, and I'm not going to let it rule me. If I had money and had a big fancy house, I wouldn't in the first place. I'd still live on wheels. But if I had all that money, I would never let that technology make me a slave, because somebody is pulling the switch, pushing the switches and buttons, running that technology. Just like all of these guys that are trying to pull them marionette strings on some people to tell us what all we got to do, and then they're going to put them marionette strings on us. Don't they want to plant one of them chips in our cranium? Think about it. Give me liberty or give me death. I want to go see my God. I'd like to look on his face, but I ain't in no hurry to do it. You have a beautiful day, week, month, and may God bless you. Talk to you again.